Hey y'all, it's Aunt Kathy again. So, in our last episode, I mentioned that the growth of big cities has been a factor in why Grandpa's like this. So, why? What is it about big cities that makes Grandpa hate them? Remember, a dominant mythology like white supremacy gets installed in your fast thinking brain. Its assumptions become normal, comfortable, like riding a bike. What is it about big cities that challenges Grandpa's assumptions and forces him into uncomfortable, slow thinking? Let's try an exercise. Do you remember family trips to see Aunt Sandra and Uncle Kenneth at their ranch in Texas? Set aside for a moment your memory of fishing and riding the horses, and think about how many different faces you saw on those trips. See if you can count all of them, from back at the ranch house to when we'd go to town or the market. How many of those faces looked like you? How many talked like you? How many appeared to have lives very different from your own? All right, let's pivot to a different trip. Think about the times you visited Aunt Krista and Uncle Chris in Chicago. How many different faces did you see on those trips? How many faces at the park, on the train, at Wrigley Field? There were a lot of faces. The political divide between cities and the countryside is complicated, but that face count is a pretty good way to understand the tension. White supremacy is based on the claim that white people are special. They're so special that they should be in charge of everyone else. It's easier to imagine your white skin makes you special when you only see a handful of people every day and they all look and talk like you. But if you're riding the train to work every day in Chicago, it's a little harder to imagine that your pale skin makes you special. In those cities, you're going to experience things every day that challenge your white supremacist assumptions. You'll run into people every day from every corner of the world and see them doing impressive things, regardless of race, background, or gender. Cities are where white supremacy breaks down, and where you can start to see a new dominant mythology taking hold. Grandpa hates cities. He's convinced they are full of crime, filth, fear. Despite the power of cities, white supremacy has always frowned on them. White planners in the mid-20th century did everything possible to carve our big cities apart and make them irrelevant. They tore up the rail lines that made transit easy, replacing them with giant freeways that slashed through urban neighborhoods. They looted every ounce of capital they could carry from the cities to build to white suburbs, isolated them from everyone else. They destroyed urban schools and public infrastructure to build segregated white neighborhoods in the burbs. And still, as you saw when you visited Uncle Chris, cities are thriving while the countryside empties. That's a short explanation of why Grandpa hates cities, and that's why the rising power and size of cities has been weakening white supremacy. Next time I'll answer a question one of you asked. What is white supremacy? We've talked about it without really explaining it, so I'll get to that soon. Till then, take care, y'all, and take care of each other.